I'm 24 years old. I wake up at 5 a.m, cold shower, gym, work 12 hours a day, sleep, repeat. Do I fuck do that? I'm 24 years old, but I do not wake up at 5 a.m. I drink a copious amount of alcohol and I party like there's no fucking tomorrow. And I make anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 a month working from my laptop. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact online skill that allowed me to do it so that you can get a similar outcome, whether you're the type of person that for some reason likes to be locked in, or whether you're like me and you just like to enjoy life and, you know, live in the moment. Because if you're anything like me, you've heard all these online gurus telling you that you need to wake up early, you need to cut off the people closest to you, you need to work a ridiculous amount of hours. They make you feel like you aren't cut out for success. But here's the thing, you are cut out for success. You're just not cut out for that bullshit. Because as long as you have a skill set and a level of work ethic, it doesn't matter. And thanks to the online world, this skill is super easy compared to like a lot of the other business models out there. Because unlike, you know, all these other business models, you know, such as dropshipping, Amazon FBA, SMMA, right? All you need to get good at is one skill. And that skill is in fact the most important skill in any industry. To be able to make the money you want to make, whether that's 5, 10, 15, 20K a month, and to be able to travel the world. Like last month, I was in New York and I was in Costa Rica. Before that, I was in Lisbon. Before that, I was in San Diego. Before that, I was in Nashville and San Diego again. And it makes zero impact to my job security or my income. I get up, go to the gym occasionally. I work 4 to 6 hours a day, and then I enjoy a pint or several with the boys. Because what is the point in making this money if you don't even have time to have a pint with the boys? I don't do it by running a business. I don't know how to delegate, manage inventory, people, or any of that shit. But what I do know is how to sell. This skill is called high ticket closing. Because here's something shocking. Only 5% of businesses ever succeed. And no business can succeed without sales. If Apple don't sell iPhones, they're going out of business. And the question you've got to ask yourself is, were you put on this world to suck up to a boss who would replace you within 2 weeks? Now, I'm not saying this skill is like easy, but to be honest, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's one of them things where you get out what you put in. What I'm going to explain to you is a performance-based sales role where you decide how much money you make. This is something you can do full-time or you can do it part-time alongside a job. But before I explain to you exactly how it works, who the fuck am I to tell you that you should be doing this business model? Well, as I said, I'm Joe. I'm 24. I'm from the northeast of England. And 4 years ago, I was doing door-to-door sales. Yeah. I was one of them guys that knock on your door, ask you to sign up to broadband, a charity, and annoy the shit out of you. That was me. I was broke and working 16 hours a day to achieve something more than society had conditioned me to believe was the ceiling. There was days I had to decide whether to get me lunch or put petrol in my car so I could go home. And the funny thing is, I was the #1 door-to-door sales rep in my company. So that was #1. I hate to see how bad the person at the bottom was doing, and it made me realize there was a better way. So I transitioned into corporate business-to-business sales. And to be honest, I couldn't bear it for longer than like 20 minutes. I just hated the corporate life. I hated having to wear a mask and not be the person that I actually am. So what I did was I transitioned into high ticket closing because I'd been seeing it all online, right? And I knew that the opportunity was there. I was initially doing it part-time to replace my corporate sales job income. And then I transitioned to full-time. And in 2025, I made close to $250,000. And it was all profit. I didn't have any overheads besides from the Airbnbs I rented when I was traveling, and I achieved everything I ever wanted. To be able to travel, to be able to, you know, give back to the people I care about the most, and to be able to thrive instead of just survive. But now I know that I can do more. I've been on the other side of fear. I've seen all these online businesses and had that fear of like whether I can actually do it. I've knew that I was meant for more and I've settled for less, but I was able to overcome that. And I want to be able to help people in similar positions do the same. So how does this business model work? Why would these companies hire me to close for them or you or whatever? When you look at all these, you know, online programs, whether it's an online fitness coach who helps people get in shape, or whether it's someone who helps people scale the business, they all have the same bottleneck. They need good sales reps. Without sales, the online fitness coach can't help anyone lose weight. Without sales reps, the business coach can't help a business scale. Some of these companies get hundreds of thousands of applications for their services, but there's an issue. They don't have time to take all those sales calls, and they aren't salesmen. So they need someone to come in and take those sales calls. They'll handle all the marketing, all the lead generation, all the prospecting, and they'll give you calls to close directly booked onto your calendar. And as long as you aren't lazy, as long as you're willing to take those sales calls, close the deals, do follow-ups if necessary, and like the additional stuff, and not be a princess, then you can make a shit ton of money. Because there's an issue with the market right now. The remote sales industry has become saturated with shit closes, with people that were sold the dream. That is something I'm not going to tell you. Like, yes, you can make a shit ton of money. You can travel. You can work when and where you want. But if you think you can just show up, not know how to sell, not know how to communicate, not bother to do the work, and just be lazy, then honestly, this industry is not for you. But if you are someone who knows the men for more and is willing to do more, then keep listening. So how does this work? So if you go on any of these online coaches like Instagram profile, for example, they all have a program or a mentorship, right? Which is usually like application only. And these services and mentorships are priced anywhere from like say $3,000 all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, what you'll see is they have a ton of followers, a ton of engagement, but those people who are following and engaging aren't going to just take action by themselves, because if they would, they'd already be at the outcome that they want. So they ask this online coach for help. An appointment setter will qualify them, making sure they're a good fit, making sure they've got the finances, and then book in a sales call. This means that they're pretty warm, right? You don't have to, it's not cold calling, it's not like outbound into random people. Your job is simply to close that person. Let's say the program that you're selling is $10,000. Industry average is 10% commission. You close that deal, you get $1,000 commission. You close 10 deals a month, that's $10,000 commission a month. Now, I know that's super simplified, but that is essentially how the industry works. But if you don't know how to sell, if you aren't on a solid offer with the right marketing, right, then you ain't closing shit. So that's where I come in. I will personally train you step by step on the process that took me to an over 80% close rate, with my best ever month being 112.5% close rate. Yeah, like I closed more that month than like I took sales calls, and making consistently $20,000 to $30,000 a month. I will connect you with the right offers. Most coaches out there will just tell you to like outreach on IG DMs. That shit does not work. Do you know how many DMs these people get from other people thinking that that's how you get a closing role? Like, a lot. I will connect you with my network of top offers, and I'll help you land an offer where you can actually make the money you want to. This is not something that you want to give a go or want to take it easy. This is something where you have to be willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work, DM me the word coach on Instagram. I'll link my Instagram here at DGenCloser, and we can see if you're a good fit.